Would you like to know just how he started this amazing collection? Well, then stay tuned as we sit down and chat with both Brian and Carrie. They are our host and hostess at the Crown Royal Museum in Troy, Missouri. And we'll get started just as soon as we roll that intro. I'm here today in Troy, Missouri, at the home of Brian Tex and Carrie at the Crown Royal Museum. Now, this is a museum that is an invitation only museum. Nothing in this museum is for sale, but Brian and Carrie have given me the opportunity to spend the last couple of days here, and I have tried to do some detailed filming to share the experience of what this museum has to offer with you, the viewer. So, Brian, thank you very much for inviting me into your home and to the museum. This place is phenomenal.
Well, we're very glad to have you, and we appreciate you coming and spending your vacation with us, so we're happy to have you.
What got you onto Crown Royal? What was your first introduction to Crown Royal?
Well, my first introduction to Crown, minus the Coke, of course, was about 17 years old in a pasture party in East Texas. Luckily, the law can't come after me at this point about that. Nor can they prove it because it's my word against theirs. So that was my first taste. Back then, it was Crown and Coke. Really liked it, nice and smooth, and just kept drinking it over the years. Been drinking it ever since. So that was the first.
So that was the Fine
first,
Deluxe.
That was the Fine Deluxe, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you said you got your introduction in East Texas, but you weren't born in Texas, though, right? You were
Correct. I was originally born in Oklahoma,
in Oklahoma,
and then but spent bigger majority of my years in Texas.
and now you're here in Missouri.
Correct.
And what brought you here?
Well, what brought me here was my parents moved up here in '96, and they really liked the area, and so I was married to someone else at the time, and we decided that we were ready for a change ourselves, and so we followed my folks up here, and she's since gone, and I have this beautiful woman here, and been here and just stayed here in Missouri ever since.
So we're not going to tell everybody what Brian's full name is, but he goes by Brian Tex. Tex, that's a nickname that was given to you?
Yes, that was given to me when I moved up here from Texas. I worked construction, and the crew that I was working on, because of being from Texas, my accent and what have you, they just gave me the nickname of Tex because everybody seemed to have a nickname on the construction crew, so that's what I got, and it just stuck.
Okay, so you're in Missouri, and you've been here for a while now. How long have you been putting together what is now known as the Crown Royal Museum?
Well, I've been collecting a few items every now and again for decades. It didn't really come into fruition as to collecting or gathering more items than just a belt buckle or a picture on the wall. That started, we'll call it 15 years ago. And it's just steadily increased and ramped up through those 15 years. And I guess it really took a pedal to the floor momentum when we moved to where we're at now about 6 years ago.
What's one of the first items that you ever collected?
Probably belt buckle.
Belt buckle?
Being in Texas, of course, rodeo and whatnot. I was involved in some local rodeos and such. So probably a belt buckle, 2 or 3 was probably, that. And of course, the purple bags.
Now, where do you manage to find the large variety of things that exist inside the museum. Where do you find all this?
It's all over. Friends, of course, people I've come across and met and dealt with in the past. I'm involved with a lot of Facebook Crown Royal groups, so I get a lot of items from there. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, various other sites, Craigslist, word of mouth, etc.
Carrie, the mainstay of this household, she does a lot of research and looking for products. What's her role within the museum?
Truthfully, whatever she wants to be. There's no set thing. She was familiar with Crown Royal, obviously, from her father and whatnot, but she wasn't a collector. She really didn't drink it much until we got together, and she started drinking it a little bit more regular with me. She wasn't into the collecting, of course, and she didn't know that it would turn into this much of, there's so many words, an addiction, a sickness, an enjoyment, of course. And so on her own, well, there was times where I've asked her to keep an eye out, and then it got to where I didn't have to ask her anymore. She just took it upon herself, helping the museum, of course, look and find items, whatever the case may be, whether it be on Facebook, eBay, wherever she was at the time. She's even put out stuff on Craigslist on occasion and local pages, asking for any interest of anyone who would have Crown Royal items they'd like to get rid of. So, she's just taken that and rolled with it, and it's been very beneficial. She's helped find and locate a lot of items. There's a lot of times where I'm busy at work, she'll find something or see something. She might not have a clue whether I have it or not, because she's not familiar. It's hard to say just because she lives here, but she doesn't come down here that often unless it's to go out and tend to the garden. So there's a lot of this stuff that she doesn't fully know whether I have or not. So she'll find something and send it to my attention. Hey, I need you to look at this, see if you have it.
Well, let's go ahead and take a second, and we're going to bring Carrie in right now and ask her a few questions and talk to her for just a second. So this is Carrie, the backbone for Brian and in his enormous undertaking that he has here in the Crown Royal Museum. So Brian was just giving us a little bit of an idea of what you try to do for him. I'm guessing that you are a very supportive individual when you consider the enormous undertaking that he has here with the large variety. So you are supportive.
Absolutely.
And at basically any cost within reason, I guess you might say, right?
Pretty much, yes.
You don't put limits on him. Or what are some of the things that you've helped him find that he might not have found without you finding that item on eBay or Craigslist?
We were out and about, and I found Christmas lights that said Crown Royal on them. And
a string of lights.
A string of lights.
Cool. And do you drink Crown as well as Brian does?
I do, but not like he does.
What's your favorite Crown Royal?
I bounce around. So right now, because the blackberry's in style,
right,
I like the blackberry with lemonade.
Blackberry. I know that y'all have to go out and travel, and I'll talk briefly with Brian about that in a minute, but do you go with him on these trips? I mean, is this a full-fledged partnership from you finding to the time of possession and back in here? Are you guys together in this adventure all the time? You're traveling with him, going with him. How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, we are absolutely together all the time when it comes to this. I love it because then we get to travel and just spend time together.
And were you ever a traveler growing up? Are you from the Missouri area? Did you see a lot of the country prior to? Weren't you a military member? or a military family?
I was not a member, but yes,
Yeah.
I was part of a military family.
Okay,
so
so
I
you
did.
have traveled.
Yes.
But that never grows old, does it, traveling?
No, especially with a partner that you're fun, that you have fun with.
And this is a nice area to travel throughout Missouri, Illinois, the Indianas, Kansas. No offense to Kansas, it's kind of flat. But Missouri is a very nice state to travel in, for sure, right? Arkansas,
Yes.
the Ozarks. Carrie, can you recall one of the first things that you helped Brian obtain for the museum?
Well, I was on the hunt for him because with our birth years, and I actually contacted a lady that had posted a bottle with a bottle swing, and I got the backstory from her and everything. And the bottle and the swing was from 1970, and that is my birth year, and so that was one of my biggest, funnest things for me because it was my first find like
Did
that.
you ever crack that bottle?
Absolutely not.
No? Okay. All right. Are you going to do it on an anniversary of a birthday?
Not that bottle, no.
Not that bottle, no. I know that Brian's cracked some when he turned 50. I guess that was last year.
Yes.
You hosted some friends off Crown Royal Pages to come partake of Brian's birthday last year. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have 70s and 74s
That are drinkable.
that we drink.
Okay.
So
Well, I'd like to say thank you for sitting in, letting us put your beautiful face on camera, sitting next there to your man. We may come back and ask you some more questions in a little while, but we'll go ahead and let you go for right now. if
Thank
that's
you. I
all right.
appreciate it.
So, Brian, let's talk briefly about the space that you have down here at the museum. Roughly how many square feet are you occupying for this massive collection?
we're looking at about 1,300 square inches. I'm sorry,
1,300.
1,300 square feet. I apologize.
You have one main room, and then you have a couple of extra, what were those, like bedrooms?
Bedrooms, yep.
Okay. Folks, I'm here to tell you, there is stuff everywhere, and I don't see how he can actually add or grow. I'm sure he's innovative and going to come up with a way, but this place is packed. I know that you even have stuff stuffed away in closets that you keep boxed. Is this secondary type items, or are these items that you just don't have the space to put out, or both?
It's actually both. I literally could probably fill up very easily a 3,000 square foot room or a basement very easily with stuff that I just don't have the room for right now. And then I have a lot of extras that so if I got something off eBay and there was two and I only needed one, then obviously now I have an extra. So I have both extras as well as stuff that you haven't seen that I just don't have the room to put it up.
What is one of your most prized possessions that you probably have existing in the museum?
Well, I'd say it's kind of hard just because there's several unicorns here, which are stuff that's rare, hard to find, hard to come by. People don't want to let go of, or people don't even know what it is. I guess the two things that really stand out for me, some of the most, is I have a waterfall type display with a bottle in it, lights up, and it spins, which I believe you've got footage of.
And we will show that to you.
And then I've got an original display stand, which I believe is from the late 50s, that I was able to come across with the help of a great friend. And so it's probably one of the more prized possessions, and we've got an empty 58 in it to try to go with the theme.
Okay, so let's talk about the waterfall piece. It's one of your prized possessions. Where did you manage to find that?
If I remember correctly, it showed up on one of the pages years ago. I'd say at least probably 4.5 to 5 years ago. A gentleman, and unfortunately I don't even remember his name now, but he happened to be one of the kind of people that show up one time because they have an item, they want to know what it's worth, and then after it's said and done with said item, then they just kind of disappear and don't come back. So that's how this happened for the waterfall light. Is someone come on and was asking information and questions about it, and I jumped on it because I didn't have it, and so I jumped in and sent them a message saying, hey, if you'd like to get rid of that or let go of it, please keep me in mind.
Do you let people know that when you're out looking for and trying to obtain specific pieces, do you let them know that you're basically essentially operating a Crown Royal museum and that you'd like to pick up this piece for your museum? Or is it more on the personal nature? Do you just say, well, I'd like to have that piece? Do you let them know that?
No, I let them know so that they'll have a better sense that I'm serious, that I want whatever the piece may be, and to let them know that it will be going to a good home where it will be viewed and taken care of, and that I'm not a flipper, someone that's going to try to get it for $50 less than what they want, and then next week turn around and sell it for $400 more than what I paid for it.
Okay. Now, how many of these waterfall bottles have you ever actually seen? There's more than one?
Oh yes. I know I've seen two others. One was used as for parts for the other. So I know of two working ones and a parts one. That's not to say that there's not any more, but that I'm pretty positive is from the 70s. And so it's the waterfall pieces that make it look like water's dripping down. They're very fragile, and I don't know that you'd ever find any more once they break. So it's I don't know that there's very many that survived the era and when they came out.
And you break down your collection into given areas, and we're going to talk about a few of those. But do you have a specific draw to a given area that you specifically enjoy collecting, or is it just because it's Crown you enjoy getting it all?
For me, it's all, which is the purpose of the museum. I'm not into NASCAR anymore. I'm not into football anymore. I'm darn sure not into hockey. Of course, I love to fish. I used to golf. But put that aside, if it's got Crown Royal on it, I want it for the museum, regardless of what it is, so that people can see, what is here, what is there, what's been produced, what Crown Royal put their name on in the past. So for me, it's all of it.
He has a variety of sections that I'm going to be breaking down and showing you over a course of a number of videos, but I want to mention a few of those to you right now. He has a clock section, some of which you can see some of that behind me. He has two enormous cabinets of different size swings that are available for Crown Royal bottles. He has a mixology section, a mirror section, a golf section, NASCAR, IROC. I mean, it is endless as to what he basically has in here. In any of these sections, has there been a specific piece that's been a little bit more difficult to get? Do you ever have to dive in and really wheel and deal, or are people willing to let go at the right price?
That's a mixed bag because that's really both, just to be honest. The IROC and NASCAR collection, there are so many of the different cars and different drivers, different memorabilia. The Christmas section with the different boxes, are a lot harder to come by because of the age of the boxes, where they come from. So there's several of them that are several categories that are harder to come by. And I don't hound anybody, I don't bully anybody, I don't threaten anybody. That's not what it's about for me. It's hey, this is something I would like and I need for the museum. Can we come up with something?
And most of the time, they're willing to work with you.
Right. And then, but it's also down the road. It's like, well, I don't know that I really want to get rid of it yet. All right, well, fine. I respect that. If down the road, just please keep, the museum in mind, because again, it's for everybody's viewing pleasure, not for something that I'm going to flip and try to make a profit on.
We asked Carrie a while ago about the traveling involved that you folks do to pick up the many pieces that you have. How far do you go to get these things? I mean, is there a limit as to how far you go?
There's no limit. We'll go wherever we got to go. We still have to make a trip out all the way out east to go pick up some items. So far, I think the longest trip's about 12 hours one way.
And I know that you guys are leaving this next weekend, or at the end of this week. You're traveling down south to Louisiana to obtain yet some more pieces. What are you going to get there?
Well, we're going to go get a first edition throne, another throne like these two that were right here, one, but obviously different from these, just a little bit. A barrel, a mailbox that I have four different kinds, and a mirror, another special mirror as well.
Is any of this duplicates?
Yes, the mirror, the barrel, and the mailbox are duplicates, believe it or not.
And I'm here to tell you, folks, and you'll be seeing this in videos, he currently has 3 thrones in the museum. The 2 that you can obviously see on camera, and another one that I'll show you later. Now, I want to remind you, again, this is an invitation-only museum. If you ever have the invitation extended to you, by all means, you need to make this trip to Troy, Missouri. It's quite unique. The states, what kind of places have you been to?
Well, we've been to Dallas, Texas, been to Oklahoma, Indiana. We've been to Arkansas a couple of times, various places throughout Missouri, of course. I believe we went to Iowa, and I think we even traveled into Minnesota twice. I'm sorry. So, and more adventures, more trips to come as well, of course.
Do you partake in other things as well, or are you pretty much a diehard Crown Royal subscriber?
It's pretty well diehard subscriber, as you word it. I have a few bottles in the collection that aren't Crown Royal, but they are something specific, something special, something that I know will be of value at some point down the road, like such that. But 98% Crown Royal, hardcore.
Brian, I would love to say thank you for you and Carrie opening the door to me over the past number of days. It has been a pure joy being here and seeing the extent of what you have. The folks, it is crazy. There are individuals in these groups that know of me or know who I am, and I do YouTube videos. And when I first got here, Brian posted a picture and people were already starting to say, is he overwhelmed yet? The answer is yes, I was definitely overwhelmed. I'm still overwhelmed, and this is my 3rd day here. So I want to say thank you very much again for opening your doors, letting me come video and film this, share some of your story, because it has been a pleasure.
It's been an honor to have you, and we're glad that you were able to make the trip.
Well, I just want to say thank you for once again tuning in. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It helps us in the YouTube algorithm. Well, that's it for now, but as always, we'll see you again real soon.